What is going on, First Descendants, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at a boss fight that has a lot of people stuck. I read in the comments section, I read in Reddit posts, even in the game chat. There is a lot of people trying to do this particular boss, and they're having a hard difficulty. Today I'm going to explain the mechanics of the boss. I'm also going to give you tips on how to defeat this boss easily, and also what you need to learn. It's extremely important that if you're going to be doing this with people, that you tell them to come and watch this video before they actually attempt the boss fight, so that way everybody's on page and knows exactly what to do. With that being said, let's take a look at the Devourer. So the Devourer is going to be doing a lot of toxic damage. We're going to go over the mechanics, we're going to go over the playstyle, but before we go into all that information, I kind of want to talk to you guys about things that you need to be focusing on when you're starting this, because building your Descendant the correct way is going to be crucial for you guys to be able to complete this, and avoid the FUD that everybody says you got to use this character, you got to use that character. Any character is viable for this fight as long as you're using it properly. So there's two particular things that you need to know and understand when doing this boss fight. Number one, you need to know what this boss is kind of more susceptible to take more damage from, with what, and also how to avoid dying by its toxin. Okay, so let's start off with that. So the first thing we know is that what's really strong against the Devourer is, of course, chill effect. Now, what you want to do, guys, is you want to go to your inventory, you want to go to your weapons, you want to go to modules, and you want to make sure that your weapons, all of them, have the chill effect in him. So if for some reason you're looking for a specific weapon that does not have the chill, for example, if you notice this one, I have chill enhancement. The more you level this up, the better it's going to be for you, because it's going to be applying more chill effect. Now, for some reason you do not know, for example, you're like, I don't know where to get the chill enhancement for a specific weapon. You can easily go to modules, just type in chill, and that's going to tell you guys exactly where you can get the chill enhancements. And the ones that are not grayed out, those are the ones that you already have. For example, if you want the chill enhancement for a beam cannon, you can see it right there. You have the chill enhancement, and you can literally just see where these are at and where you could acquire them, but depending on where you go and where you need to farm, just to get that done. So that's my first recommendation. Make sure all your weapons have chill enhancement. The other thing we're going to be looking at is this in particular, is that we go back in here to the menu and we look at the Devourer and we go and look for his mission here. You're going to notice that there's going to be a thing that says recommended attribute resistance. I think this is one of the biggest issues that people are having when fighting the Devourer, is the fact that they don't have this toxin resistance enabled or active within their character. So how do you actually view this? Super easy, guys. You're going to go to your Descendant once again. We're going to close this out here. We're going to pull up our Descendants. We're going to go to Descendant modules. And in the Descendant modules, you're going to notice that there are things called like heat antibodies. So all you got to put is antibody, right? All you got to put is anti right here. And this is going to give you guys all the antibody. So for example, you see these hit resistance right here? I have a fire resistance of 2100. If I put this one, I have a toxin antibody of plus 154. Now, in order for me to match the level of this toxin resistance, I pretty much have to level this up. As you see right here, I leveled this up 5 levels, and this is going to be for the other boss that we're going to be talking about, but the Pyromancer. But what you want to do is you want to do the same thing here to this toxin antibody, okay? That's going to give you a ton of survivability. Now, does this mean you need to go ahead and upgrade this completely to max out? No, you just need to level it up in order for you to be able to resist that, just to resist the attack that he's going to be producing. Now, there is another thing that also allows you guys to pretty much tank a lot of stuff when it comes to the toxins here, but that is going to be your primary thing. Make sure you guys have your toxic antibody, and that you at least level it up twice to be able to absorb a little bit of damage from that boss fight. Now, how do you do the boss fight? So when the boss starts, you're going to get presented into the game, and he's going to spawn you in. And the first thing you want to do, guys, is you want to make sure you pretty much shoot all the spots that, are pretty much highlighted within the description of the Devourer, right? So you want to make sure you shoot his balancers, which is his kneecap. You want to make sure you shoot his shoulders. Also, remember, you can literally mount onto these shoulders and break them off with a couple of strikes. So do keep that in mind. Whenever you see them turn yellow, you can easily grapple onto them and smash them. Now, when he does his aggro stage, this is where people are struggling with, because he has two particular phases that are causing a lot of damage. Number one, he has this thing where he kind of throws these balls at you, these green balls, and they create little puddles of toxin around you. Basically, these could easily be dodged, so you just dodge, roll on these. That's not a problem. But I feel like where people are really struggling is when he goes to in his rage mode and he spawns the 3 different sets of pylons or toxin tanks. Because what these toxin tanks do is, if you don't destroy them at the same amount of time, if you don't destroy him fast, rapidly, he's going to get his health back. And this is where people are struggling, because they could get him to have health, but these little tanks spawn in and everybody rushes to kill the tanks. But unfortunately, what happens is they don't kill him fast enough and his health regens, right? So you want to do is the following. You want to make sure you have a really good weapon, that does damage. You want to make sure it has that chill effect, like I mentioned, for the weapons. But you also want to make sure that you're constantly looking at the floor when you're shooting these pylons. The reason is, you're going to notice that when you're shooting these pylons, you're going to get these green little circles. You want to avoid that, because those are almost instant death if you guys don't have enough toxin antibodies. And that's the reason why I always recommend make sure you have those toxin antibodies, because the problem is, if you die when you're shooting this pylon, it's just going to slow your team down. And what's going to happen is he's going to get his health back. So the way we did it is we kind of divided ourselves into, I didn't even do this with a team. I just did this with public. But what you want to do is you want to split yourself up in like a group of 2, 1, 1. So 2 people go to one pylon, they knock that fast. They go to the other pylon that the other person's working on, and they go to the other pylon that another person is working on. Depending on what character you're using, you're going to be able to knock these down. I was able to take out a pylon just by myself. It's not that big of a problem. You constantly want to be jumping. You want to be looking at the floor for those green little circles and avoid those little circles. If you do this right, you will be able to kill the Devourer. Now, I'm personally planning on streaming to help carry people through these boss fights. If you guys want that to happen, let's get this video to 100 likes and see that happen, so we can stream and help you guys complete these missions. But overall, in general, guys, that is the tips I want to give you. Make sure you have the right elements on your weapon. Make sure you have your toxin resistance to the level it needs to be. And number 3, make sure you guys are coordinating with those pylons. If everybody does that correctly, you should complete the Devourer and be headed to the next mission. Now, for those of you saying I don't want to spend hyper shards on my toxin resistance, trust me, guys, if you don't get past the Devourer, you're not progressing through the game. So what do you want to do? Progress or get stuck trying to kill the Devourer? I hope you guys found this video helpful, informative. If you did do me a huge favor, guys, drop a comment, drop a like. But most importantly, subscribe to the channel, turn those notifications, and don't forget to use our creator code if you're going to be buying anything in the shop. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.